Hello and welcome to Math 200. This is our Statistics Online course at Kenyatta College for the summer of 2024. There are two sections that will be combined together. Our first section is the section CRN 53219, and then the other section is 55482. Now I know the header here says that it's 53219, but I've worked to combine these two sections into one Canvas shell, so we will all participate together. Before we get started, I do want to say that the best way to get a hold of me is through my email, and my email is this email, rlapuz2, the number 2, at my.smccd.edu. Now, there are other emails associated to my account, but this is the email that I prefer to use for the purposes of our class. Okay, so in this first part of the orientation, let's quickly go through the syllabus. I have here a page that is not necessary for you to get at, but it's available nonetheless. And let's take a quick look at the syllabus. All right, in our syllabus, we have the general information about the instructor, the courses, and the best way to get a hold of me. I do want to say that we're going to do a lot of our work, most of our work, using Canvas, and the Canvas site is called smccd.instructure.com. You can also find it in many other places. All right, so here is our introduction, welcome introduction. Our course goes from June 10th to July 20th, although our last day for the final exam will be on July 19th. This is an online class, so everything will be done asynchronously. Here's a quick check to see if you're ready to do things online. Now, the other thing is that we are in the summer course, we are putting together 17 weeks of coursework into 6 weeks. So that is a big compression of the material. And there are going to be some things that I will drop from what I normally do during the semester, during the 17-week-long semester. But in general, almost all of the objectives will be met in our course. I do want to point out also that some people have reported spending between 10 hours to 45 hours per week of work. And so I can't imagine that you would be doing any less than 10 hours a week. But if you are well versed in your math and statistics, and you're just taking this as a refresher, maybe you might be able to do this course in less than 10 hours a week. But most likely between 20 and 45 hours, which is a lot of time to spend in this course to be successful. Now, if you don't spend that much time, you might still be successful, but you might not be successful. So think about allocating some time for this course, and maybe after the first or second week, you get some sort of groove for yourself, and that will allow you to kind of set the tone for this class and be able to tell how much time you should be spending for yourself. This is an online course, but our exams will need to be proctored. And so we have Proctorio that we use for our proctoring for our exams. And if you have issues with that, we can try to make arrangements. But if we do make arrangements, it's going to be a lot more limited. You're not going to have as much freedom, and it's probably no longer going to be asynchronous for you. So, but if you do have an issue, you can send me an email and we can try to work something out. But if not, then you might want to consider an in-person class or something else. All right, so the course material, we'll be using Canvas. We will have an online textbook through OpenStax. And the textbook will be linked through our Canvas page, so you don't need to know or memorize or even bookmark the textbook unless you really want to, because you can always access that from Canvas. You will need some technology to do a lot of the calculations that we'll be doing. I'm not going to expect you to do calculations by hand, but other types of technology that can be used would be Excel or Google Sheets. You can also do a calculator, or if you can find things that are actually online that help you do statistics, then you're welcome to use that as well. Here's our course description and our student learning outcomes. So you can read through that on your own, and let's carry on. The next section talks about a lot of the resources that are available in Kenyatta College. We have the Learning Center, which will be open for the summer courses. And especially there is a special page for Learning Center tutoring in statistics. Actually, it's going to be a set of videos where they focus a lot on the TI-84 calculator for computations. In fact, we can go take a quick look at it, and there's a lot of videos available. There's an outline that was provided by this tutor that was working here a while ago, and so all his work and his videos are still going to be useful for us, and you can decide to go through that if you want. There's other resources that are available, and you can check through the rest of these resources here. Expectations and adequate statement. So we are going to be interacting with each other. I know this is a huge class, but there are going to be some discussion boards where you're going to respond to other people's posts, and we just ask you to be respectful of everybody else's point of views. The grading will go as follows. Your homework will be done through this homework system called MyOpenMath. You don't really need to know that because this will be linked through Canvas. And again, Canvas is going to be our main learning management system. So this set or this category will be worth 20% of your grade. You can make up some homework if you want, but you have to make them up at an appropriate time. In other words, according to this, you can make up homework up to the day of the test or the day previous of the test where that particular chapter is going to be covered. Okay. Midterms and exams are going to be together. Well, the midterm itself is going to be worth 35% of your grade, and your final exam is worth 40% of your grade. It's comprehensive. I say it's comprehensive here, but we'll talk a little bit more about the exams later. But one part of your exam will be comprehensive, and the other one will just take a look at the second half of the course. Your journal assignments are going to be worth 5% of your grades. So there's some journal assignments that are available where you get to check in, and I get to ask you some questions about stuff. And I consider these easy points, but they're easy points only if you do it. If you don't do it, you will lose points. And so make sure you get it done. There are also some check-in quizzes, and these are the quizzes that I normally would include in the course, but since summer is going really fast, I decided to make them optional, but extra credit. And also, I do want to point out that a lot of these questions that come in the check-in quizzes are going to be some of the questions that will end up in your exams, both your midterm and your final. So I do highly encourage that, and the check-in quizzes probably wouldn't take more than 10 minutes of your time, so I encourage you to get that done. They will be due. They'll have loose due dates, but the absolute due date will be on the exam, on the day before the exam, that these are going to be covered. And we have our grading scheme here, depending on your overall. And then the courseware that we're going to jump into next will be in Canvas, and it'll be broken down by the home page, the modules, announcements, assignments, grades, discussions, and syllabi. One possible approach is to go through the modules, and the modules are done by chapter. So it's going to be based on when things are due, and then you cover the chapters in the modules. And again, we'll take a look at this setup. I do want to mention growth mindset and how making mistakes in math are what kind of pushes us to learn the ideas and the concepts in math. And so the idea is to do all the work up front and make your mistakes in when you're doing the homework, and so that when you go do the exams, then you'll be a little bit better set. Here are some dates that are important for us. We have the homeworks for chapters 1 and 2 due on the 14th of June. Journal 1 and 2 will be due that weekend, the 15th and the 16th. And then chapter 3 and 4 will be due on the 17th. So we're going to cover 4 chapters really quickly within the first week of our course. Again, this is compact and needs to be done in a shorter amount of time. We're going to go through chapters 5 and 6 on the following Friday, and then chapter 7 will be due on the following Monday. And then by the 3rd week in our 6-week course, we will have our midterm exam. And then after that, we go through the chapters kind of not bunched up, not so crammed like it was in the beginning, because these chapters will hold a little bit more information and will be a little bit more challenging. So they'll be broken up like this in July until our final exam on the 19th. Some other important pieces of information or dates are included are last days to add drop or last day to drop with a refund. More importantly, last day to drop without appearing in your transcript. And so after the first week or so, you're finding that this class is a little too challenging, that might be a good time to drop it so it won't go in your record at all. Now, there's another date here where you can drop with a W. So if you feel like you're not being able to do the work that is going to be needed for you to be able to pass the class, you can still drop this with a W. That's a withdraw symbol in your transcript. At least you won't have to put up with a grade, and then you'll have this withdraw in your transcript. So you can do that by the 10th. And then here are a list of our topics. Again, to try to do this in 6 weeks is quite difficult, but people have done it before. So here are 13 chapters of work that we're going to do. And then here's just a quick visual snapshot of our class statistics. And here we're looking at collecting data and providing descriptive statistics by examining the center spread and the distribution of the data set that we've collected. And then we're going to learn a little probability and talk about some probability distributions. Some binomial distribution and normal distribution are our 2 big distributions. There are other big distributions later on that lead to what's called inferential statistics. But we put these 2 topics and ideas together, the descriptive statistics and the probability, by virtue of the central limit theorem. This is a big theorem that we're going to just kind of browse over. We're not going to get too deep into this, not mathematically at least. We'll just get to know the central limit theorem a little bit, and that's going to lead us to inferential statistics, which is the statistics of making inferences about the data that you've collected. We'll do this with confidence intervals and hypothesis testing, and here are the other parts of what we're going to study. All right, that is our overview of our syllabus. Now, if you want something kind of concrete to hang on your wall or to put in your binder as ways to keep track of the dates, here is a summer calendar of our 6-week program. And you're more than welcome to download this, print this out, or at least look at it and put some of these due dates in your in your planner, in your phone, or whatever it is that you use to keep track of things. And so you can see when the due dates are in one snapshot. Okay, so that is the quick information about our syllabus and our schedule. So now I want to move to taking a look at our actual course in Canvas. So this is the home page of our Canvas course. When you see this, you'll see a banner, and you should see a banner for all the pages that you're looking at. And then in this introduction or home page, we will see what you've already seen, that the course is for 2 courses, and the best way to get a hold of me is through my email. This orientation video will be set here, and then you can take a look at the list of the due dates in the home page as well. And if there are any other announcements that come throughout the summer, I will include them here. And here's some advice from the students from the past, and so some FAQs, and that is our home page. If you go to the modules page, you will see the home page here, so you can come back to the home page by going to this home page or clicking back in the breadcrumb trails of things that you're getting into. But you can click on the home page to get back to the home page. Beyond that, we're looking at each module is going to be broken down by chapter. And what we have in the first part of each of these chapters is the chapter overview and some videos and quizzes. So in the first chapter, you'll see some PowerPoint presentations, and you can download that. But beyond that, there won't be any more PowerPoint presentations, and we'll just go directly with the textbook. And so here is section 1.1. You can view this video, and once you do that, you can check your understanding by doing this extra credit quiz, check-in quiz. And each section should, or most sections should have this. So in this first chapter, we have 4 sections. And then generally 4 sections would mean you have 4 assignments to look at. And so that really depends on the chapter itself. So let's go back to modules. After that, there's a discussion here. Now, these discussion boards for each of these chapters are for you all to be able to communicate with each other. I generally don't look at these discussion boards. If there's something that you need to get a hold of me for any particular reason, you should email me. But otherwise, if you want to throw a question out there to your classmates, you're more than welcome to pose questions in these discussion boards. And as you're looking through this and you're studying these things, you're also welcome to reply to some of the questions that some of your classmates might have. Okay, so I want to make these discussion boards available for you all to be able to connect and communicate with each other if you want. There are some technology and some homework help videos, and those homework help videos usually refer to particular questions from the homework, or sometimes it's just about technology, like how do I do this in my calculator or in Excel or in Google Slides. So you can view those as well. And then after that are going to be the homework assignments. So there are some homework assignments. In this chapter, there were 4 sections, and we have 4 homework assignments for each section. Okay, and so there's more information about technology and about the textbook, so you can view that down here. All right, so that's chapter 1. Chapter 2 is laid out the same way, and all these chapters are laid out the same way, except they only stop at the homework. So let's take a look at, let's take a closer look at descriptive statistics. And we'll start here. And so there's some learning objectives, and so there's a video, and I don't see any quizzes because this is just the chapter overview. So after chapter 1, you'll generally get this chapter overview and then each of the sections. So this is our chapter overview. You can view this later if you want. I'm going to go to section, let's go to section 2.2. And here's another video of section 2.2. And here we have a link to the textbook. So you can click on that and it'll open up the OpenStax textbook in that particular section, section 2.2, histograms, relative frequencies, etc. So you can read through that if you want, before or after the video. And then after that, if you want to work on the quizzes, this is how a typical quiz would look like. It's just usually just 4 questions, 1 point each. And then it usually would refer to a question that is similar to something that has been discussed in either the video or in the section. So it says here in the text example 2.9, what is a good number for the interval for these 25 data sets? So I can look at this and say, maybe there's 25 data sets. If I divide that by 5, maybe 5 might be good, so I can click on that. And then it won't grade you until you finish answering everything else. Construct a histogram, you must take the following steps. So I'm just going to randomly click on things. I'm not going to read the questions anymore, just to show you what happens. And so I can submit the quiz. And I can see that I got this first one correct, the second one kind of half correct, the third one wrong, and the fourth one kind of some partial credit that would be happening there. Okay, now if I want to take the quiz again, you'll get the same quiz, the same problems that might be shuffled around a little bit, well, or it might be some different problems. And so you can just do that. And again, all these are generally related to some parts of the textbook or some parts of the video. Now you could take this as many times as you want until you get 100%. It's up to you. Or you can take this once and get whatever score you get and then move on. Or you can not take it at all. It's not going to be part of your grade unless you want extra credit for it. Okay, so that is the quiz. I want to go back. I'll leave the quiz. I'll go back to, well, let's just go back to the modules. So we have the discussion for chapter 2 as well, separate from chapter 1, and then technology and help videos that you can view. So with chapter 2, they start talking about descriptive statistics, so there's going to be more videos that help for the technology, and here there's one video that addresses one particular assignment. And then after that are the homework assignments. So let's take one quick look at a homework assignment. Let's go to 2.2 again. You don't have to go in order, but it's kind of suggested that you do go in order. And then here we have the homework that's going to be based on my open math, but it'll still be in Canvas. So these things, some of them are multiple choice in the homework assignment, some of them are true false, but most of them are going to be things where you have to include some answers. So the class width, I'll say the class width is like the difference between 2 numbers down here in the bottom. So 11 minus 6 is 5, or 6 minus 1 is 5. So I think the answer is going to be 5. And the sample size here, if I count, there's 10, 15, 17, 17 plus 6. 17 plus 6 is 23, plus another 3, 26, plus another 7, 30. So I think there's 30 altogether in the sample size. So in these scenarios where you're doing homework, you can submit the question and then be able to check whether you have the answer correct or not correct. So I see that the sample size is not 30, so I must have not added them correctly. But in any case, whatever the answer is, you can, let's guess, 50. And then at some point, they tell you what you got and what you didn't get. So I got the first one correct. The second one is not correct. I can check the answer. Oh, it's 33. So I just miscounted. So what I can do is I can leave it at that and get the points that I would have gotten. So that's half a point out of 1 point for this particular problem. Or I can get a similar question and then it'll regenerate a new problem, and then I can answer that. And if I answer that correctly, then I'll get 1 out of 1 point, and then I can move on. So right now I have half of 1 point, and I can leave it at that, or I can fix it so I got it. I'll get a perfect score. So you could do this, I think, set the limit to 100 times. Hopefully you don't need to take that long to get it correct, but I'm just guessing you should be actually trying to compute this and reading through the text and the video to make sure you get the right answer. Okay. All right. So I just wanted to take a quick look at a typical homework assignment. And that was in chapter 2. So right now I only have chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4 posted, and I will post 5, 6, 7, and then after that will be our midterm. So you'll have information about the midterm online as well. Okay, just going down through this navigation menu. The next is the syllabus. I have the syllabus and the schedule listed here. And then also I have, you can see the list of things that are due. There's quite a bit due on Friday. That's because there's Friday, June 14th covers chapters 1 and 2. And so here are all the assignments, homework assignments for chapter 1 and 2. Saturday is going to be the first journal assignment, and then there's a math autobiography due on Sunday, and then on the next Monday will be chapters 3 and 4, and then another assignment which we'll briefly go over, this proctorio assignment. This proctorio assignment will actually get you ready for taking the actual exam, so this is like a pre-check before taking the exam. And then on Wednesday, this is the day before the exam is due, Wednesday the 26th, I have all the checkpoints, the check-in quizzes. So hopefully you're doing these as you're going along each of those sections. You can also wait till the last day, but that could be quite a long list of quizzes to take. Now remember, these check-in quizzes are extra credit, so you don't have to do it, but you are highly encouraged to work on it. And then there's more information here for the other assignments that will be coming up. Okay, so now that's the syllabus, and the next are the announcements. At this point, there are no announcements, but I will be sending announcements from the first day of class, and then maybe 2 announcements per week. You should expect them to land in your emails if your email is connected to Canvas, and if it's not, then you should see it here. Back at the home page, you should see there's some announcements. It says recent announcements, and then down here will be a list of the most 2 or 3 recent announcements that you can see in case you missed it in your email. But you can also go to the announcements page here to capture all the other announcements that have been set for the class. Assignments is just another way to get to the assignments that are coming up. So there are upcoming assignments. You can show them by date, which makes sense because this is how you should be viewing it. You can also see it by type, where you have check-in assignments, you have homework assignments, and you have journal assignments, and those are how things are broken down. Midterms and the finals aren't going to pop up yet because they're not available. Grades, you should be able to check your grades here. Now, the homework grades are usually done automatically. Some may take a few hours or maybe even a day to log into your Canvas page. But the journal assignments, once you do the journal assignments, I have to check it myself. And so when I do that, it usually takes a little bit more time. And so as it's taking time, you're going to have to wait for them to come up. It doesn't come up instantaneously. Here are some of another way to get to the discussion boards. There are discussion boards associated with the chapters, but there's also discussion boards, some of them associated with the journal assignments. So we'll take a quick look at the journal assignment a little bit later. Some more information, accessibility information here for our district. The Kenyatta College Library has a link here. You can go through that. There's Kenyatta Cares, Kenyatta Tutorings. You're encouraged to explore all this on your own. NetTutor is another place to possibly obtain tutoring. And over here is a proctorio. So before you do the exams, we're going to get a journal assignment that is related to making sure that you have Proctorio installed. So you can click on this now, or you can click on it later when you do our journal assignment number 3, but this will help you install Proctorio. Okay, let's go back to take a look at a journal assignment. This is separated by type. And so there are generally two types of journal assignment, and then we have this one special journal assignment that is a Proctorio check. But let's take a look at journal assignment number 1. Here's an introduction to the class. You introduce yourself, state the following, and so this works as a discussion board. So you hit reply, and then you answer these questions. And then after you answer these questions, if you're the first, second, or third one here, you might not see too many other posts, but once you start seeing other posts, go back to this assignment and then reply to your classmates, get to know your classmates. And then you need to do at least three of these to get your full 10 points. Okay, so you get 7 points for your original post, and then you get 3 points for 3 more classmates. If you do more, that's great, but I can only give you 10 points. Now, some of these, there are going to be some extra credit opportunities for some of the journal assignments. Our first one has an extra credit opportunity. Not all journal assignments will have them, but this one does. So if you click on this extra credit opportunity, you'll see that you can get 2 additional extra credit points that will be counted towards your first exam by creating a slideshow or document that addresses the prompts that we have from the original journal assignment. And then in these documents that you are creating, you need to at least have 2 graphics, a picture of yourself and a picture of something that represents something that's not school related. And then you upload this or you create a link. So that's for 2 extra credit points. For a 3rd extra credit point, you make a video of yourself doing this. And you can do a Panopto video, or you can create a video and upload it onto YouTube. But you can share the link, and then I'll show some details on how to do this assignment later on. Okay, so that is an example of our journal assignment, and this particular journal assignment has an extra credit attached to it. Let's go back to the assignments. Another type of assignment will be an assignment that you would do and submit to me, and so it's not sharing it to the whole class, but you're only sharing it with me. And in this case, this type of journal assignment is called the math autobiography. So you write about your math background and you address these prompts here, and then write an essay. Your essay can be however you want to set up. I don't have any particular formatting that you need to do. Just make sure you get that information down on paper and save it as a PDF and then upload it. You can upload it by clicking on the Start Assignment and then upload your file. Okay, now the other type of assignment will need you to install Proctorio. So let's go back to the assignments page, and in our journal assignment number 3, this is a Proctorio check. It's actually a syllabus check that uses Proctorio just so you get to use Proctorio. And so in order to use Proctorio, first you need it installed in your computer. So you can go to, when you click on this, when it says take the quiz or take with Proctorio, it'll prompt you. If you have Proctorio already installed, then that's great. If you don't, then it'll prompt you to install Proctorio, and then you can get that going. You need a webcam for this to work, and then Proctorio will record your screen, and then you also need to show a valid ID. So the ID can be a driver's license, it could be a school card, it could be a passport, as long as it has your name and your picture on this particular ID. And that's what we need. Okay, you can only use one screen. So if you have multiple screens like I do, you're only going to be focused on one screen. And you're not allowed to print, and you're not allowed to copy and paste for this particular assignment. Okay, all right, so I hope that'll clear up. And this is a practice run for you to use Proctorio. The actual use of Proctorio will be for the exams. And so just want to point that out. Okay, I think that's all in terms of an orientation for this course. I think that's all we need for now. You'll get some more information in the announcements that will be coming to you in the near future. So I want to again welcome you to this course. Our statistics course for the summer of 2024. And I wish you all good luck and happy collecting data and computing statistics. I'll see you later.